Why use JavaScript arrow functions for this binding? Imagine writing code that works perfectly most of the time but suddenly behaves unexpectedly in certain situations. That's often because of how JavaScript handles the keyword this. If you've ever struggled with this in your functions, arrow functions might be your new best friend. They are a special kind of function that do not have their own this context. Instead, they inherit this from the surrounding code where they are created. This is different from regular functions, which get their own this depending on how they are called. Think about asynchronous code or callbacks. When you use a regular function inside set timeout or event handlers, this can lose its original meaning. For example, if you have an object with a method that uses set timeout with a regular function, this inside that function won't refer to the object. It might refer to the global object or be undefined if you are in strict mode. That can cause bugs that are hard to track down. Now, if you replace that regular function with an arrow function, this stays connected to the original object. It inherits this from where it was created, not where it is called. So, in the example where you want to increase a count inside an object after some delay, using an arrow function keeps this pointing to the object. You don't need to use workarounds like bind, call, or storing this in a variable. Regular functions have a dynamic this that depends on the caller, which can be confusing. Arrow functions have a fixed this, called lexical this, which is set when the function is created. This makes your code cleaner and easier to understand. For example, if you have an object with a method that uses set timeout, replacing the inner function with an arrow function ensures this still points to the object. This is especially helpful in event handlers or callbacks where you want to keep the context. However, arrow functions cannot be used as constructors because they don't have their own this. They also do not have arguments, super, or new target bindings. But their ability to inherit this makes them perfect for many situations where you want to avoid bugs caused by incorrect this binding. They help you write more predictable, less error-prone code. In web development, asynchronous programming is everywhere. Using arrow functions for this binding simplifies managing scope and makes your code more straightforward. Instead of worrying about losing the context of this, you can focus on building features. It's a simple change that can save you time and frustration. To sum it up, arrow functions are preferred for this binding because they inherit this from where they are defined. This avoids the common mistakes and bugs caused by the dynamic nature of this in regular functions. They are a powerful tool for writing cleaner, more reliable JavaScript code, especially when working with callbacks and asynchronous operations.